All right, so the big rematch takes place May 5th at the O2 Arena in London. It is Tony Bellew and David Haye, Mark II. We David Haye on Friday night, but we're saving the best till last. Tony Bellew's on the line. Evening, Tony.
Good evening, guys. How's it going?
Not too bad. How are you keeping?
I'm surviving a horrendous boxing camp, but I'm getting through it, let's just say.
How's it going with that? I saw a little bit of footage of you throwing up over the last few days. How's it been?
Yeah, I didn't appreciate Dave Bellew making me spew up. After running the treadmill, I'm sure you, Killer, have faced that one a few times, but it wasn't nice, mate. It was very, very hard, drawn out long. When you put on a treadmill, mate, at 20 to 21k speed, and you're on it 30 times for 30-second sprints, that's the outcome of what happens.
Dave Bellew was our fitness coach at Everton, and he started now training Tony. Yeah.
Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, Dave was well into the treadmills. Even when I knew him, Tony, he did a little bit with me training for marathons and things like that. He was big on hill running and things like that. That was his big one, honestly.
He's just a horrible man.
How long does your camp last for?
The camp's 14 weeks. So I've been in camp for 14. Well, it will be 14 weeks by the time of the fight. It's just long and hard. It is what it is.
And what sort of shape were you going back in?
At the high levels, and you can't get away from it.
What sort of shape were you going into camp? You're not one of these fighters who puts on 3 or 4 stone over a prolonged break.
I wouldn't say 3 or 4 stone, maybe 1 or 2. Not 3 or 4. No. I came into the camp, and I was a career heaviest. Well, I'm not a big heavyweight, so there was nothing to really worry about. I'm a fighter who lives the life. I live a clean lifestyle. I've never took a drug in my life. I'm not really, well, to be honest, it's to my benefit. Leon Osmond tells me I don't like the taste of alcohol. So,
do you know what? Just on that weight issues. I remember in the build-up to that fight, there was something that you'd even spoken about with Haye about the weight issue. Obviously, he was going to come in heavier than you, and you wanted to be at the heavier. And I think I heard you speaking about afterwards that you may be a little bit paranoid, more paranoid than you actually should have been going into that fight. What have you done then in preparation for this one, weight-wise? Then
I was more. I went into the first fight under the illusion and with the attitude that I needed to be heavier. And I'm not going to lie, it does help with the durability factor in the fight. You can, a little bit extra weight helps you absorb a little bit more punishment. But ultimately, I gassed and tired in the fight when I'm. That's very out of character for me. I don't usually tire in fights. So I was disappointed in myself after gassing in round 7 and 8. Don't get me wrong, I got my second wind and I got rid of him in round 11. But ultimately, I didn't feel like I showed the best of me that night. In fact, as a matter of fact, it's one of my worst nights in boxing. I didn't perform when the injury occurred. I was boxing very nice up until round 5. I was making him miss, making him pay. And then all of a sudden, David's Achilles ruptured in round 6. And then I just went gung-ho and crazy for the knockout. And so I didn't really box well. But, added to the performance, I was fighting at a weight I'd never fought at before. I was a stone heavier than I've ever weighed in at before that fight. It didn't help.
The word from the Haye camp is that he's intending to be a little bit leaner for this fight as well. So is that your plan also?
Yeah, definitely. What I can say is I'm in fantastic shape. I feel fantastic in the gym. I'm performing. I'm outdoing my numbers that I've done from previous camps. And I'm happy with where I'm at in camp. So I can't complain, really. It's gone well. I've trained really hard, and I'm just looking forward to putting a show on May the 5th. I can't wait to punch 10 bells out of him.
It is 14 months that you've been out of the ring since the first fight, the longest period of your professional career without a fight. Are you just desperate to get back in?
Yeah, people have to understand the one thing that I love doing more than anything is actually fighting. I'm not going to lie to you and say, I love the training, I love the weeks of camp, I love the torturous preparation that it takes. I don't. I hate it. I hate being on a diet. I hate the fact that I can't eat chocolate when I want to. I hate the fact that I can't have a laugh with the lads. I hate the fact that I'm not allowed to play football. It does me nothing. But it's all for the end product, and the end product is I knocked David out on May the 5th. So, and that's the part that I love the most. I actually do enjoy fighting still. Like I said before, the training never gets easier. I'm sure Kevin will say he's been an elite level professional himself. it never gets easier, it only gets harder. And the fitter you get, the higher the levels you can push yourself to. So, you've just got to prepare the best you can. And fingers crossed on the night, everything goes to plan.
Do you feel like you're in a very different place in your life heading into this fight than compared to the first fight? It seems even fame-wise compared to 15, 16 months ago, you're at a whole new level. Like when you walk down the street, your everyday life, is it very different now compared to where it was a couple of years ago?
It gradually grew. I mean, you've got to remember, I've been in the city, I've been in world title fights, and no one's ever had a fight before in a football stadium in Goodison Park. I've done it. I made that up. That was before this fight. I was in a Rocky movie before this fight. So, the kind of levels of fame, I've been there for quite some time now. What I would say is it crossed over more to the casual public and the casual fans, the last fight. And that was basically because of the disgusting things he said in the build to the fight, to be honest. So, it is what it is. I'm not someone who really is happy about it. I hate even saying I'm famous. I don't really feel like I'm famous. I just feel like, listen, I'm really good at punching people in the face. And people like to see other people get punched in the face, and that's just how it works. So I hate saying like I'm famous. I'd rather just think people like seeing fights, and I'm good at fighting. That's how I look at it.
You mentioned the build-up to the first fight and how it got pretty nasty and some of the, quite frankly, disgusting comments that were said. We had David Haye on the show on Friday night, and he spoke about how he felt you got into his head ahead of that fight.
Well, first time round, I was screaming and shouting. I really let Tony Bellew get under my skin. He really irritated me, and I really reacted to that, and that played right into his hands. It was a masterful mind game display by Tony Bellew, and I took it hook, line, and sinker. So I can't make that same mistake again. He thrives on his opponents getting angry, throwing out their game plan, and just swinging for the hills, trying to knock him out because they've got such dislike for him. I'm not that type of fighter. I'm a skilled, slick fighter who uses reflexes, timing, and a boxing ability to outwit my opponents. He flipped the script. He became the skilled fighter. I was missing. He was counter-punching me, and it fell apart for me. So credit to Tony Bellew. He used his annoying personality to get an advantage against me. So I cannot let that happen again. You fool me once, but you're not going to do it twice. And this time round, he's tried very, very hard. He's been really trying to say things to wind me up. But every time he says something, I take a deep breath. And you think, I love you, Tony Bellew. Don't worry. Let's do it. Let's settle this score on May 5th.
What do you make of that, Tony?
He's great, and he's gold. Do you know what? I've never said anything personally to annoy him. If anything, he was the one saying the personal things to me. He was the guy who was saying he was going to leave me in a hospital bed. My children were going to visit me in hospital. I never said any of them things to him. So he's the guy who made it really personal. I just told him a few home truths, and it absolutely kills him. The fact that I told him he wasn't in the game to become heavyweight champion of the world anymore, and he knows he's not. Stop kidding the public and lying. He's in the game for money. If he was in the game to win titles, then he'd fight Deontay Wilder in a heartbeat. He's got close links to Deontay Wilder's management team, so he could make that fight with a phone call right now, him and Deontay Wilder. But the fact of the matter is, he doesn't want anything to do with dangerous fights. What David Haye is he's a high-speed bully, and he looked at me as an easy touch, a cruiserweight who was going to come out, punch all over the place, a little fat-mouthy scouser. And what happened is the fat-mouthy scouser had a little bit more than he envisioned. And, he got one over on him. That's all that happened on March the 4th. So he's making a big deal out of nothing. It's very nice of him to say, I got under his skin. But that's not the reason he lost. He lost because he lost to a better boxer on the night. He was getting outboxed, counterpunched, getting made to miss by miles. And like I say, that's nothing to do with that. He's going to be made to look stupid again on May the 5th. I'm going to love every single second of doing it to him again.
Tony, in relation to the pre-match trash talking that goes on in fights, are you of the opinion that anything goes? You can say anything to each other to sell a fight, or is there actual limits to what can be said?
There's boundaries. You lost someone's family. That's the first thing. That's just a step too far. He took it too far, mate. He's an idiot. He's a plant pot. He's an egomaniac. I mean, he's playing this card that, Tony Bellew's humbled me. David Haye is about as humble as Madonna. There's not as humble about him, and he never will be. So it's just the fact that he lost. He had humble pie all over his face, and there was no other way he could play this other than the way he's played it now. You know, he's already said he wants a violent knockout on May the 5th. Why does it have to be a violent knockout? Listen, I just want a referee to jump in and stop it for 10 seconds, and then he gets up and goes home after it. I gain nothing from someone knocking them clean out or someone just getting stopped for 10 seconds. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, it does, but I don't wish for it to happen. You know, it's just not the name of the game for me. The name of the game is to get in, win, get out with as little punishment as possible. David Haye's just another drama queen, mate, in this horrible business I'm in.
You mentioned there that he's just in this for the money, that if he wanted, with his connections, with his name, that he could probably have a fight with somebody of the calibre of Deontay Wilder, and he could go for a title fight still. What's your motivation for this rematch?
Just to prove people wrong again, to be honest. I mean, everybody laughed at me when I said, you've got to remember, think back to the fight week for the first fight, and I sat down in that press conference and I said, don't worry, David, once I've defeated you on March the 4th, I'll give you a rematch. And not only did he laugh at me, but all the media was laughing at me as well. And people forget that I don't. You know, everybody in that room was laughing as if to say, yeah, I'm sure you will, mate. And I'm doing it. You know, everyone turned up on March the 4th to see David Haye completely blast Tony Bellew to bits in 2 rounds in exciting fashion. That's what they all paid to see. Everyone tuned in on Sky Box Office because they thought I was going to get knocked out in 2 rounds brutally, because that's what David Haye told them all. Now he's changed his tune. Now it's going to be, I'm going to defeat Tony Bellew. I don't know when or how, but I'm going to knock him out and whatever, what have you. It is what it is, mate. He talks absolute nonsense, and he has to accept that he got his head picked off by a little fat scouser.
Tony, you know, you said earlier on just there, you said, like, I was always good at punching people in the face, but that wasn't the case in this fight. It was as if he's mentioned there himself as well, he was able to counter-punch me. You outboxed him before the injury. Put the injury aside to David Haye. Put it aside, but you were outboxing him in the early rounds. So what is your game plan for this fight? And is it pretty much the same? Is it go into the fight with the same sort of game plan and work on the same sort of things that you worked into that, or have you got something else prepared that you're actually going to take it to a next level?
I just work to become a better fighter all the time, Kev. To be honest, there's no real. I don't know what he's going to do, so I'll just adjust my game plan accordingly. Whatever he does, I'll find a way around it. I'll just find a way to win. I only believe I've ever lost one fight in my whole career, and that was to Adonis Stevenson. So I figured it out on the spot. Don't get me wrong, I'm anticipating him doing certain things, but he might not do them. You know, everything is anticipated. Boxing is violent chess. I've got to be one step ahead of him all the time, and I will be. I'll be switched on. I'm not stupid. I can't get into a trade match with him in the first 4 rounds. That just can't happen. I can't afford to trade. He's a bigger puncher. He's shown that throughout his career. So I have to be smart. I have to pick my moments. I have to wear them down. He's also shown in his career that he's a fighter who retires after the midway stage. I've shown in my career predominantly, well, more times than not, that I get stronger as the fight goes on. So, you know, we start with each other's advantages in the fight. And the more this fight goes on, the more his advantages decrease and the more my disadvantages increase. So the more put on a bit of a seesaw at the start of the fight. But as the rounds go on, as the more rounds pass, that seesaw evens out. And when it gets into the second half of the fight, all of a sudden, where he was at the bottom of the seesaw, you know, he's now at the top, and he's being outweighed, and he's getting weighed in. And that's just how the last fight went. And regardless of what he wants to say, everyone remembers, I'm going to drill Tony Bellew to the floor in really quick time. If all you stupid scousers believe in Tony Bellew, do something good and bet your money on him, well, they did, David, and they made a fortune, an absolute fortune. So thank you very much. They're going to make the same fortune again on May the 5th. Maybe not as much this time, because last time I was a complete underdog. They've brought the odds down a little bit more, but he's still the big favourite going into the fight. So I'm the only guy worth betting on when it comes to the value.
Just lastly, Dave, I listened to you talking to Joey Barton on his podcast recently, The Edge, and Two things stuck out to me when listening to you on the podcast was how much you stressed about you being a student of the game, watching historical fights, watching, of course, opponents, but how much you studied the game before you've even turned pro. But the other thing, Tony, that stood out to me was what you said. I cannot be stopped when I'm in a ring. I need physically to someone to stop me, whether that would be the referee, whether that would be my corner. Is that the mentality of every fight you think you've ever faced, or is that just in your mindset that you will not be stopped no matter what? That you will never ever stop. Even do you ever think of your family when you're actually talking like that, or actually when you're in the fight?
No, that I forget about everything. Put the low blow on. So when the cup protector goes on and my shorts go on, I don't think about anything or care about anyone. I just have to win. And I'll do anything to win. I'll go through whatever it takes. I've shown how many times I've got off the floor in my career, many times to win. Come from behind to knock people out. I don't know. It's frightening when I think about it like that, because I know deep down, no matter what I have to go through, I will never ever quit.
That was a thing though, sorry Tom, just when you said this, I know when I've spoken to you and how, obviously your kids mean everything, your wife means everything to you, but that's the thing that strikes you when you say something like that. They're obviously the forefront of your mind.
Yeah, but that just, it's like I shut the door and that's it. It's selfish, you could say, but I can't give in. Like, I ain't a fighter who can. I've had broken hands, I've had my nose broke, I've had my ribs cracked, broken in fights. I can't. I wish I could. I wish I could be a fighter who goes, he's got a switch and he goes, you know what, I've had enough, I'm spent, I'm done. But I can't. I just can't do it. And I suppose that's one of my strengths, but when I look at it from the outside looking at it, it's not a strength, it's a weakness, because it means I can't stop. And it means I can't give in, and that's the frightening part. Because to me, I look at a referee and a coach. Once the training camp's over, I need two things. My coach is there to help me, give me a drink, give me a bit of advice when he can, but ultimately he's there to save me, because I need saving from myself. And a referee's there to do the exact same thing. I don't need a referee to make sure the rules are adhered to, or do this or do that. I just need the referee to be able to count to 10 or just save me when the time's right.
Do you almost feel then as though there's two personalities? It feels as though then when you put the gloves on that you turn into some sort of a sociopath, that it's all just about... Because I would have always thought from watching from afar that, walking into Goodison Park, 40,000 people, how you talk about your family, that actually you love the emotion of it, that you use that in the ring, but listening to you there, it sounds as though actually you try and block that out completely.
I do. That's the last thing on my mind when I'm walking into a ring. It's all about fighting. Like I say, I love fighting. It's a sad thing, but it's a curse, mate. It's a gift and a curse. It's a gift that it's allowed me to provide my family with the dreams that I didn't think were ever going to be possible, but it's also a curse in the fact of what's gonna come from it, or what can happen. It's the dangers of it. So this is why I've got a line. I've always said this from day one. I will retire from boxing. Boxing will not retire me. I won't be David Haye in here for, you've got to remember David Haye went out in his career and from the start said he'll be retired by the time he's 31. By the time he was 31, he was 20 million plus deep. He had no reason to carry on. He was undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world, and he was former heavyweight champion of the world. This was at 31 years of age and over 20 million pounds earned in a boxing ring. Why is he back? He's back because he wants to live a crazy, lavish lifestyle that's caught up with him.
So if his motivation is money and your motivation is to prove people wrong, you go and win in a couple of weeks' time, people are going to talk about the attractive fights, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, and they're going to say, no, he doesn't have a chance in a ring against them. Do you worry that actually there's something inside you that will go, I need to prove these people wrong again, even though they may not be the best fight for you, best fight for your family?
No, because I can accept that they're just bigger guys than me. Maybe not Tyson Fury, because he's not a puncher, so I do think I can genuinely beat Tyson Fury. But Deontay Wilder are just bigger, stronger men. They have too many advantages over me. So I can live with the fact that I'd lose to them because their natural size and power takes over it makes it virtually impossible for me to beat them. I can live with that. But, I want to... I don't even know if the Fury fight is that. I just don't know. It's Fury. There's the Andre Ward fight out there if I know he wants it. There's the winner of Gassiev and Usyk. There's lots of attractive fights out there, but it has to make sense.
Yeah, because you said there, obviously, you want to make the decision yourself when you retire.
Yeah. Boxing will not retire me, guys. I will retire from boxing.
So are you going into this fight with the mindset that it might possibly be your last, win or lose?
I can't afford to get into the boxing ring thinking this is my last ever fight. Because I suppose that's how spewing it happens. That's how I've never spewed nothing in my life. I can't even spew a game of FIFA to my 12-year-old son, never mind. Biggest fight in my life. So, no, what's on my mind going into the fight is, in the back of my mind, I always have, I want to fight him next. So I have got a thought in my mind of who I'd like to face after it, but I won't release that until I'm safe and out the ring on May the 5th.
Is it Tyson Fury? Go on, you can tell us. You can tell us. We won't tell anyone.
I'll be honest, I don't think he fancies facing me.
I think you've got your retirement plan sorted anyways. We were just saying before we came in that we love watching you as doing the analysis post-fight. Do you really enjoy that? Do you really enjoy showing, as Kevin says, you've got a good detailed knowledge of the sport, who the best pound-for-pound fighters are? Do you really enjoy that aspect of it that you've done over the last year and a bit?
I love talking about boxing because, in all honesty, I think boxing and Everton Football Club are the only two things I really understand in this world. I really know. I like to think I know women, but when it comes to it, I haven't got a clue. I've been with her 16 years, mate, and I still don't know her. When it comes to me kids, I'm just trying my best every day, day in, day out. I don't claim to be this great father that the media want to portray me to be. I'm just a normal fella trying to make the best of the situation I'm in. And I'm still learning as I go along, whether it be a good person but I'm someone who makes mistakes. So I don't know. I like working on the TV. I actually understand boxing. I can break it down for the layman's people to learn, listen, and do whatever. I can break fights down quite well. But I don't know. I just, in all honesty, I hate this fame and celebrity tag that's been put on me. I like being able to go and have a laugh at my mates. I like being able to go out and act a fool and start breakdancing, having a laugh doing circuits on the floor in the middle of a bar. I enjoy doing that, and them days are long gone for me now. Because you can't do it now, because the minute I'm out, people are videoing me while I'm eating, never mind having a dance. So I absolutely hate and detest that part of my life. I don't like the fact that I go on all day with my kids and people are videoing us eating. But the price to pay, I look at it, I've sacrificed the kind of social part of my life for what I've become, and that's, this leading fighter and this business that I'm involved in, this celebrity lifestyle. But I'm sure, and I'm very pretty sure it will end once I go missing for like 12 months. Come out of the spotlight for 12 months, and I'm sure it'll all finish, and no one will give two hoots about Fat Boy Tony Bellew. So that's the plan in the long term.
The social life improves in retirement, Kev, doesn't it?
It does. I can guarantee when you retire, your social life will improve, mate. I tell you that now.
I hope so, mate. I really love playing golf. Well, I should say playing golf. I really love hitting the ball with a golf club. So I get great joy when I'm going for the walk, playing a bit of golf, fresh air. I really do enjoy that, and I absolutely love nothing more than playing football. So once I'm done with the boxing, my Sunday league team will be getting picked up. I've already got my first 4 signings, and they've all agreed to train with me on a lifting weights. Alan Stubbs, Leon Osman, Tony Ibbott. I've got Neil Dans as well. So I'm going to have the greatest over 40s Sunday league team you've ever seen, and I plan on being undefeated forever.
Hey, Tony,
it's some insult. You couldn't even make his 5-a-side team.
I can't make it. No, that's it. I tell you, that's it. Look, I tell you something. Who's going to do the running in that team, though? That's what I want to know.
Me, and I'll be about 20 stone. It'll be about 20. I've already told them I take the penalties, I take the free kicks, I'm the captain, and I provide the kit. Killer, there's a place for you as well.
Yeah, in goal.
Mate, that left peg of yours is definitely a place for you. I haven't located a left winger yet.
Tony, great stuff. Thanks a lot for taking the call, and the very best of luck on May 5th. We might talk to you afterwards when you're victorious.
Absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you very, very much.
Hey, hope you enjoyed that latest offering from Off the Ball. If you want to subscribe, and you should, check out just up here. All our latest stuff is just down here. Generally, knock yourself out.